Hello viewers and welcome to another massive episode of 4 Drive TV. I'm Simon Christie. This week, as always, we've got plenty of 4x4 excitement and tech tips. Let's get stuck straight into it.
Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard.
Hi, I'm Colin from Thompson Tyres, and we organise dealer weekends, which basically involves our retail tyre dealers to come and enjoy getting off-road for a chance to use the tyres and see what they can really do off-road. This morning we met up at Healesville at 8:30 for a 9 o'clock takeoff, and we went up to the Black Spur, let the pressures down and started doing tracks through there. We got to some interesting sections. Some quite big mud holes which we ended up winching out of, which was actually good to see how the tyres perform and flex up on the ledges and the ridges. It was good to see the tyres perform and use those side gliders climbing up those ruts. We also then stopped at Mountain Disappointment and had lunch there. On the way there are a few tricky sections of large rocks, a little bit of scrambling going on, but when you let your pressures down to about 18 psi you get a lot more traction and the tyres mould straight over those rocks. We came into one interesting section with a large bog hole. We ended up actually witching out of that one. It was very deep, very rutted. The mud was very soft and sloppy. So after climbing up to Mount Terrible, we came back down through Jamison and now we've stopped at Skipworth Reserve. We're going to have a barbecue here tonight and camp in the swag, and tomorrow morning we'll be getting up nice and early to have another full day out. We'll be going through Woods Point, Matlock, Triangle, Newgie, and then off to home from there. Probably a fairly slow pace. We'll need to let those pressures down a fair bit, and then after we've been in Newgie we'll probably stop for a quick break and then head home.
Yeah, g'day. My name's Dave from Lindsay's Tyres. We've just been doing the Mickey Thompson dealer weekend for early 2012. We'll be doing a couple more tours throughout the year. This particular tour, seeing as it's been quite hot and dry, we've been sticking to some of the more hard to get to areas, doing some of the harder tracks here and there. We've gone from Marysville, worked our way right through to Cumberland Junction, and then we've worked our way up through to Big River and then Mount Terrible, and doing a little bit of touring along the way. We camped near Kevington last night. Kevington's one of those places that's a real mecca for people looking to go camping in the high country. This morning we retraced our steps back up to the ridge along to where Mount Matlock Tower is, and we've worked our way down into Newgie through a few other tracks that we know of. It's been a good trip, been nice and warm, and the weather's been kind, and we'll be looking forward to going again.
So we've had a great weekend out and we've come to the end of our trip. It's great to see everyone from the tyre stores to see how the tyres perform off-road and really use them. Today it was great for people to get out and test the products, especially a couple of new products that we've got going at the moment. It's given us a good chance to put them through their paces and see what they're really capable of. I'm Colin from Mickey Thompson Tyres. If you'd like to find out any more information about our products, jump on the 4 Drive TV website and follow the links.
At the recent Loveday 4x4 Adventure World Record Weekend, they attempted to break and set a number of world records, from jumping two-wheel drive cars through to jumping motorised eskies. Just for fun, a caravan went flying and a world record was set for riding a quad on two wheels for at least 100 metres with one driver and 6 passengers. Michael Squirb doubled Travis Pastrana's side-by-side record jump, pushing it from 47 feet to a whopping 94. Dad Sam Squirb set a valiant attempt at setting a record for the longest reverse wheel stand. But with the bar set high at 1 kilometre, Sam was sorely disappointed, dropping the quad twice around the 400 metre mark. But he made good with his monster truck smashing the American wheelie record of 81 metres by a huge amount. To finish off the day, Andrew Nichols put on a brave show in his prime mover but fell short by just 1 foot. Stay tuned for full reports in upcoming episodes.
Hi, I'm Glenn from Ultimate 4-Wheel Drive. One thing we're offering 4-Wheel Drive TV viewers is a free tour behind the scenes at Ultimate 4-Wheel Drive. One thing we like to do at Ultimate 4-Wheel Drive, especially when we're doing a large build-up and fitting some quantity of gear to the car, is get the customers in behind the scenes. We like to actually get them out the back and interact with the person that's actually going to be doing the work on the car. He'll talk about his qualifications and how he's actually qualified to do the work on the car, and then sitting out there with the workshop manager and the sales guy together, they'll go through the build from start to finish, giving the customer a real insight as to how the gear actually gets fitted to the car. At that time, any communication or anything new that the fitter can add or the qualified technician can actually add to the job, he'll certainly put that in as well. And what it means is a much more open view of what the customer's going to be getting on the car. So certainly is a big part of our business. Any customers are more than welcome to come in. Even if you're not getting gear fitted to your car at the time, you're welcome to come in and we'll show you behind the scenes as to exactly what happens, how we build the gear, what's actually happening behind the curtain, giving the customer some great insight. We think that any quality 4-wheel drive shop should be offering this behind the scenes tour. For any more information, please contact Simon at 4-Wheel Drive TV or follow the links on the 4-Wheel Drive TV website. I'm Glenn from Ultimate 4-Wheel Drive. Make sure you get the right gear for your next 4-wheel drive trip.
The Cape York Misers Challenge, as filmed by Shane Gerish, proved that a rough and ready, budget-minded bunch of blokes could take on the Cape successfully, have a blast and experience touring at its best on little more than the smell of an oily rag. Going right back to basics, carrying the minimum of gear, camping and self-catering, these blokes made this trip one of the best they had ever done. With a sense of adventure and plenty of driving and mechanical experience amongst the group, the Cape York Misers proved to be a resourceful team of avid 4-wheel drivers and proof that you can get out there on a shoestring and still enjoy the toughest of 4x4 trails. Thanks again to Shane Gerrish and congratulations to all of the Cape York Misers.
Finally, the driving light you've always wanted is here, boasting a class-leading freeform reflector and a super tough polycarbonate lens and ABS housing. The all-new Nava Ultimate 225 is a revolutionary driving light, available in halogen, halogen blue and HID, in both spread and pencil beams, and supplied complete with a plug-and-play wiring harness and polycarbonate lens protectors. These Aussie Outback Tough Lights outshine the competition. Visit nava.com.au for more information and make the switch to the brightest lights in town.
Viewers, the wait is over. Shop online at the 4Drive TV store for personalised merchandise, 4Drive TV clothing, 4Drive products and even DVD subscriptions. That's right, 2 episodes of 4Drive TV posted out to you every fortnight for the whole series, and all for just $50. Support your favourite program, wear the brand you love and never miss another episode with our collector's DVD subscriptions. Get shopping at 4drivetv.com.au with the 4Drive TV online store. If you drive a 4-wheel drive with or without a dual battery kit, then it's time to upgrade. Modern vehicles and modern battery technologies require smart electronics, and the Piranha Off-Road Products DBE 140 dual battery controller has all the smart grunt you will need packed into an affordable and tiny package. Priced at just $170, the Piranha DBE 140 is the smart choice in dual battery management. For more information on how you can stay charged, visit piranhaoffroad.com.au.
I'm Clint Reid from Readies 4x4 and the Australian 4-Wheel Drive Mud Race Association. Welcome back to Heathcote. We've had a slightly different event this time around. We've had a cancellation of the Vic Winch due to permit, so we've run a bit of a fun day down at Heathcote Park. We're trying to incorporate a bit of a fun day and have a bit of fun for the kids and the families. We've got some kids in the cars and some passengers in the back. We're trying to do a little bit of a family stuff. We went to Aldi Station last weekend and had an absolute ball. So we've come back from there with some different ideas of how to run some 4-wheel drive events. And we're hoping to run a jamboree later on this year to involve all the 4-wheel drive clubs in Victoria and just bring some fun back into 4-wheel drive and not some serious full-on wrecking stuff. We did one that was a blindfolded course where the competitors drove around blindfolded. We did another course where one car towed another car all the way around the track in reverse, then the other car towed it all the way back in reverse. Something a bit different, a bit entertaining, even though it's not full-blown racing, it's still under a stopwatch and everyone has a bit of fun and lets the other cars that aren't so powerful win sometimes. We run a fair few events here at Heathcote Park Raceway, as we have no legislation yet for the racing of Winch Challenge trucks in Victoria. Russell's lent us this land to use for Winch Challenge and mud racing and stadium racing events, and Readies 4x4 and Road Runner Off-Road are getting together to hold some good events in the future years, not just around here but everywhere else in Victoria. We're trying to get Winch Challenge back on the map and get some more events happening. Not even that, just normal family events, and just get some full driving out there. I'd like to thank a whole lot of people that helped out for this event. The Readies 4x4 for letting myself take time off work to put a couple of stages together in the last 2 days. We come back from Aldi Station on Tuesday and we're back out here Wednesday night trying to map out some stages, and thank God we did some stuff up there and we learnt that you don't have to have them big tracks and big jumps and big water holes to have some fun. Thanks to my wife Kim and the kids for a few late nights again mapping out stages, and Les and the boys from work, Cattle Gear Australia for helping us out with some stickers, and Choice Graphics for doing the stickers up. Without sponsors and help from marshals and family, we wouldn't have these events. Come along to compete in one of our events, or just to spectate, or just to have a good time, or help out marshalling. For more information, go to www.roadrunneroffroad.com.au. or 4Drive TV. Simon and Miranda keep a whole list of the events coming up in the years and in the month, and just go through them and you'll see where we're racing next and what's on. I hope to see you then.
Hi, it's Steve from Killer Custom Cables. Today I want to talk to you about wiring harnesses and engine conversions. As a lot of people know, the wiring can be one of the most difficult tasks to get right and working properly on an engine conversion, especially with these late model computer controlled engines. With these late model engines, it's not just a case of hooking up power and a couple of sensors and away you go. There's dozens of sensors, you've got very complex computers that need to interface with each other, and if you get it wrong it can be very expensive and heartbreaking. At Killer Custom Cables, we found that the easiest way to get these engines up and running is send up both the looms from the donor vehicle and the new engine, and what we do is we interface the two together, so when you get it back it's essentially just plug it back onto the motor, plug it back into the car and away you go. By doing it this way, everything is hooked up correctly as it needs to, everything's getting its right power supplies and signals, all the old redundant wiring's removed, so there's no chances of stuff shorting out and causing engine fires and all that sort of thing. It's important to know when you're doing an engine conversion to know exactly what you want, just so make sure you get all the right parts, all the right gauges and the wiring to suit, and yeah, make sure everything's all working sweet. Whenever you're looking at someone to do the engine conversion, always make sure you shop around, make sure the people seem to know what they're talking about. If you walk in there and they don't seem to know, then I'd be best suggest find someone else, because you don't want them getting it wrong and you don't want your car sitting in someone's workshop for months while they try and work it out. Make sure you go for someone that has a proven history working with four-wheel drives and these engine conversions. They're not as simple as everyone thinks. There's a lot of tricks to getting them right, so they're perfect. For all the different late model engine conversions, ranging from the Gen 4s like here, like in Denny's car, to the new Duramax diesels, it can be very painful or it can be as painless as removing the harnesses from the motor, sending them away, receiving a nice new loom back. It's just simply plug back into the car and away you go, hassle-free. So today we've been working on Danny's car here. Before today, we've built the custom loom. We've integrated the two looms together. Come down today, just simply plugged it back onto the motor, plugged it back into the dash harness of the car, hit the key and away it's gone. It's not just engine wiring, it can be difficult. With late model cars, the whole car's integrated with the engine. Every computer talks to one another. So when you're doing a conversion using these, it's a lot more involved than just doing the wiring. There's things like Tiptronic automatics, with gear shifters that need to be modified, integrated in. There's reprogramming of the computers to make them work standalone rather than in the late model vehicles that they come from. So it can be very complex and not something that the backyarder wants to take on themselves. When you're looking to get someone to do this, make sure you find someone that can do the whole job from start to finish. So they can do the wiring, they've got experience with these late model engines and computers, they can modify anything that needs to be modified to suit, and they can reprogram your computers, do the whole lot, ready to go. I'm Steve from Killer Custom Cables, helping you get the most out of your engine wiring. I hope to hear from you soon when you start your next project.
Hi, I'm Chris Weston, off-road racer and owner of Off-Road Rush.
I've raced all around Australia on different terrain, and I wouldn't trust anything but my Mickey Thompson tyres.
That's why I also choose Mickey Thompsons for my four-wheel drive. They perform equally well on and off-road.
And they have a full range of tyres that handle all conditions and have more grip.
Mickey Thompsons, they're legendary off-road tyres.
Call 1300 Mickey for your nearest dealer.
The next generation of shock absorbers is here. Leading the way in 4x4 suspension development, Old Man Emu introduces the most advanced and finely tuned shock absorber on the market. Nitro Charger Sport incorporates a new valving system that instantly adapts to all terrain for an outstanding smooth ride and phenomenal control. Backed by a 3-year, 60,000 kilometre warranty, you can trust Nitro Charger Sport, built in Australia for Australian conditions.
Hi, my name is David and this is my rig. This is a Great Wall 2010 X240 wagon. Modifications I've done to this car is put on bigger tyres, which are now 30 inch rather than 29, bull bar, UHF radio, VHF radio, dual batteries in the bonnet, compressor under the bonnet, and various modifications like the snorkel, and I've done my own fit out at the back with drawers and my slide out fridge. There are lots of modifications I'd like to do. I'm still waiting to come from China, rear carrier for the spare wheel so that I can then put a long range tank underneath. And I'm also waiting for a front diff locker. That's going to come from Russia. So those are the two main ones that I'm looking forward to do now. I've had the car since brand new, so I bought it in July 2010, and I spent 6 months getting a few mods to go because I went over to Western Australia. The trips I've got lined up are going to Cape York, which I'd like to be doing this year, and the year following I want to do Simpson Desert. Look, the reason why I do four-wheel driving is I like getting out into the country and seeing things that I haven't seen for some time, and like going out with friends who've got the same sort of vehicle, because we then have good challenges together. I'm also a member of the Great Wall Owners Forum, which is on the internet, and that's where I've picked up a lot of good ideas on how to do modifications to the vehicle. It's a great forum to get onto to be able to share your experiences with other people.
If you'd like to be the weekly Your Rig right here on 4-Wheel Drive TV, then send an email to myself with Your Rig in the subject line. Each weekly winner takes home an electric blue Spanset snatch strap, an X17 Fiskars synthetic axe, a HEMA Great Desert Tracks Atlas and Guide, an RFI UHF antenna courtesy of RFI Antennas, a DP chip stubby holder and Berrima diesel cap, an ARB cap, ARB Penrith stubby holder, an emergency can of ARB Outback Survival socks, a set of 4-Wheel Drive TV stickers, an ARB rechargeable LED adventure light, a 911 memorial cap courtesy of 511 Tactical, a tyre puncture repair kit courtesy of Black Widow, a Super Winch cap, an RFI stubby holder and an RFI cap, a t-shirt from Super Winch, a 4-Wheel Drive TV cap, a DP chip pen, a Manel Motors stubby holder, magazines courtesy of South Pacific Bow Hunter, Wild Deer Hunting Adventures and Dirt Comp. And it's all neatly and safely packaged in an ARB cargo gear carry bag.
I'd like to thank 4-Wheel Drive TV, Miranda and Simon for allowing me to present my rig, and also the generous sponsors for the prizes that they've given.
Hi, I'm Brett from 4x4 Obsession. Today we've got Simon's 2 GUs in to fit some new TTC claws to. Whenever you purchase these tyres, you should really buy 5. The main reason for this is to maintain the same size all the way around. It's imperative that you actually run exactly the same size tyre on all 4 wheels, and if you have an odd spare, you get a punch in the bush, your weekend or your day out driving's just been finished. With these tyres, the other thing to make sure is that you do get somebody with a decent wheel balancer, somebody that can actually balance large 4-wheel drive tyres. A lot of the smaller car balancers won't accurately balance them correctly. You'll just find that it'll actually do damage to the wheel balancer. On Simon's later GU, we're actually repairing his tyre monitoring system. Advantages of this are you can actually see what your tyre pressures are running at all times, because as you run down the road, the air warms up and increases the pressure. So it will actually tell you if you're going to overpressure, or if you are getting a slow leak, it'll tell you if your tyres are going down. You really should take care when fitting these that the valves are aligned and that you don't mix up the sender units, because otherwise it won't read correctly. You'll read the wrong wheel on the screen in the cab, or you won't read at all. So we've swapped a few valves around. We've taken the time just to make sure that it all works correctly, that it reads correctly, and each wheel is where it should be. These tyres that we are fitting, the new TTC Claw, are a directional tyre, so make sure that when you are fitting them up to the car that you do put them on the correct side of the vehicle. And with the spare, it's always a good idea. It's not law, but it's always a good idea to fit it as a left-hand fit, because most times in the bush when you do get a tyre rolled off the bead or a flat, it's on the left-hand side, because the driver can judge the right-hand side wheel a lot better than you can judge the left.
Even at 35 psi, you can see how these massive side biters are coming into play to give us added traction. At low tyre pressures, off-road, that is going to be a phenomenal bonus for traction. Can't wait to get these babies out into the dirt.
Simon's 2 patrols are now set up with the latest technology in off-road rubber. As far as I'm aware, he's off to the high country next week to give him a tryout. Hopefully everything goes well. I'm Brett from 4x4 Obsession. Thanks for watching 4 Wheel Drive TV.
I'm Jason from Australian 4-Drive Mud Racing. This is my rig, a Nissan Patrol. It's got a V6 turbo in it with a VL motor in it, running standard 5-speed with Nissan Patrol diffs. It's got 3-inch spring lift in it, so hopefully it'll go okay. The motor's a VL turbo motor, and it's got a huge turbo in it. I don't know what sort it is, but runs pretty hard. Standard 5-speed gearbox, standard transfer case, standard diffs. We've done everything ourselves from scratch.
Well, viewers, the fastest half hour of the week, that's it. 4 Wheel Drive TV done and dusted once again. Remember, jump onto the website, stacks of prizes, links and plenty of videos to watch. I'm Simon Christie. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard. We'll see you next week.